All right, guys, Connecticut, stand on your feet. We have some top secret clown business to take care of. Put your hands together, Connecticut. Captain Spaulding, Sid Haig. Thank you for coming to Connecticut.
What are you all doing here? Good question. Got any good answers?
All right, guys, so I'm going to ask Sid a few questions, and then we're going to open it up to all of you. So I hope there's some stuff that you want to ask Sid, and let's get started. So Sid, the crowd here just watched House of a Thousand Corpses. How did the role of Captain Spaulding come to you? And what were your thoughts on the character when you first read the script?
Okay, this is a perfect example of watch what you're doing today because it's going to affect what happens to you in the future. I was at Rob and Sherry's wedding reception talking to his brother, and he said, "This is so weird." I said, "What, the wedding?" He says, "No, standing here talking to you." I said, "What the hell are you talking about?" He said, "When Rob and I were kids, we used to wake up every Saturday morning and watch Jason of Star Command, and you scared the shit out of us." And I kept popping up in films that Rob loved, and he said, "You know, if I ever get to direct a movie, I want that guy in it." And so when he wrote House of a Thousand Corpses, they called my agent to come read the script. If you like it, the part's yours. And I took it home and I read it and I said, I could have so much fun with this, let's do this. So that's what happened.
Awesome. So did you have any idea that the Captain Spaulding character would become such a horror icon?
I had absolutely no idea. I mean, I was only in about 4 or 5 scenes in this thing, okay? So I figured, you know, well, maybe I'll get a couple of jobs afterward.
So you've had, it's no secret that you've had a really long career in films, you know, everything Spider Baby, Foxy Brown.
This is the 50th anniversary of Spider Baby.
Is it? Wow. With all the different genres of movies that you've appeared in, is horror the one that you really are the most passionate about?
I like good stories, so I'm passionate about good stories, but the thing that I have to say is that the horror fans are the best that there are, without a doubt. The only reason that anybody knows who I am is because of you. Okay? You make it all happen.
You did! You did!
Sid, I know today we saw House of a Thousand Corpses on the big screen. To me, it was so different because when I first saw House of a Thousand Corpses, I kind of figured that The Devil's Rejects would kind of be, you know, a spin-off of this, but it was almost like a different movie in a sense, where there was like a different style to it. And the thing that I found most interesting about that movie is the whole, you know, the whole chemistry between you, Bill Moseley, and Sherry Moon Zombie. It just seemed like you guys have been friends forever. It just seems so natural. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Well, yeah, we were friends, not for forever, but from the time that we made this until it was released was a big pain in the ass, you know, because Universal put up the money to do the film. They had their producer on the set every day. They gave Rob notes every day. And they saw the dailies every day. And Rob was, screening this around the country and whatnot, and the survey cards were coming back great. So the head of the studio, Stacy Snyder, the head of Universal Studios, Stacy Snyder, says, well, maybe I should come to one of these screenings. And Rob, in his naivete, said, yeah, sure, we're doing one, tomorrow night, wherever. And she showed up. At the end of this film, they found her in the lobby, crying and shaking uncontrollably. Somebody had to drive her fat ass home. Had to come back for her car the next day. The next day, she called Rob into the office and she said, there is absolutely no way that Universal can release this film. It's morally corrupt. What? Bitch, didn't you read the script? It's crazy. So that really took it out of Rob, man. He was depressed, and we were all that way. I said, Rob, hang on, man. You made a great film. Just relax. Somebody's going to get their synapses working, and it'll get a release. Don't worry about it. And it went on for 3 years like that. And the more that it went on, the closer all of us became, because now we were fighting the system, okay? And finally, somebody at Lionsgate said, how come we've never seen this film? You've never seen this film? So they showed it to him and said, yeah, this is it, we're gonna do it. They got together with Universal. Universal discounted the price by $2 million. So it was $5 million, and they made a deal like 85% of the box office would go until the bill was paid off. And it made its money back the first day. And so after the premiere, Rob called me the next day and he said, I don't have a lot of time to talk. I got a guy from the Hollywood Reporter on the phone. If we do a sequel, will you do it? I said, yes. He said, okay, talk to you later, bye. And he started working on Devil's Rejects.
Guys, I just wanted to share with you, today I had the opportunity to hang out with Sid, and I've met, since we've been doing HorrorFest for, this is gonna be our 4th year, I gotta say he's one of the most, without a doubt, down-to-earth celebrities I've ever met, and the thing that impresses me the most is he cares about his fans. I can't tell you, there's other celebrities at other events and they charge like $100 an autograph and you don't even get a good feeling after meeting them. I could guarantee that if you guys meet Sid Haig tomorrow at Connecticut HorrorFest, you'll have the exact opposite feeling of that. He's welcoming, he'll take pictures with you, sign autographs. He's a great celebrity, he loves each and every one of you. And I want to open it up to you guys now. I want to see who wants to ask Captain Spaulding himself some questions in here. There's a mic right there. Want to walk right up to it?
Yeah.
You want to line people up?
Yeah, if anyone else has some questions, just feel free to line up.
Just come on up here, line up behind the microphone.
If you don't have any good questions, give me a good answer.
What's going on, Sid?
Yes.
How you doing?
All right.
My name is Rick, and my question is, in both the House and Corpses and Devil's Rejects, are there any scenes that you got to improvise? Whether it's the dialogue or even the face paint that you had to do. Did you have any say in that?
No. Rob designed the makeup, okay? And then he basically just wound me up and let me go, which is dangerous at times. Because like one of the first scenes that we shot was where the guy comes into, the guys come in to rob the store, and he said, stick them up, and I went like this with both hands. That wasn't in the script. And Rob did exactly that. He started to laugh. I said, Rob, hold it together, man. We're trying to make a movie here. So we had to do take 2 on that one. But it was just so much fun. And in House of a Thousand Corpses, he let me do a lot of ad-libbing, a lot, okay? Which I appreciate, you know.
And also any projects you have coming up that we should know about?
Well, that I know about? I don't know. I got 4 films in the can right now at various stages of editing, and there will be a lot of noise about it when it's time to get released. In one of them, I play a homicide detective who is a good guy, and I get the girl at the end. There's a first for you.
Hi, my name is Daniel. Was wondering who your favorite clown is.
Shit, I hate clowns. No. I don't know, I always thought Emmett Kelly was kind of cool. Okay, the hobo clown? Yeah, very cool.
Hi, Sid. My name's Caitlin. My question is, how did you feel about the obvious, creative change between corpses and devils, and did you have more fun doing one or the other?
I appreciated the Devil's Rejects more because it gave more room for character development, and you got to see how fucked up these people really are. Okay? And the companion disc to that is 30 Days in Hell,
yeah.
And the reason it was called that was because for the 30 days of shooting, it never got below 110 degrees. Yeah, so fun.
Well, we appreciate you making that movie. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Hello, Sid. My name is Chris. I had a question for you about, was it true that House of a Thousand Corpses went through a really rigorous editing process in order not to get an NC-17?
Yes. Rob had to take it to the MPAA 8 times to get an R rating. And it was all for stupid shit. You know, the scene towards the end where Sherry stabs the girl in the field?
Yeah.
Okay, she stabs her 10 times. They said, that's way too much. Okay, what's acceptable? 5. Okay, so. And then they had some other dumbass thing that they wanted cut, and time after time after time. Now, and they really ran him through the ringer because he was a first timer. You know, the newbie in town always has to take the shit, all right? When we did the Devil's Rejects, it passed the first time out. And we broke the record for F-bombs at 567 times. That's like 1 fuck every 3 seconds.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, you didn't hear that, kid, okay?
How you doing, Sid? My name is Bob. First, I wanted to ask you a question concerning what was your very first movie?
Wait a second. My very first movie was Jack Hill's student film at UCLA called The Host, which is the companion disc to Switchblade Sisters.
Oh, I was not aware of that. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm curious.
All right, thank you.
Hi, my name is DJ. First of all, can I please get you to go cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha? Also, I've heard rumors. Is it true that there is going to be a third movie for House of a Thousand Corpses and the Devil's Rejects?
Here's the rule in Hollywood. If you don't hear a rumor by noon, start one.
I'm going to go ahead and start it then. Thank you, sir.
Hello, Sid. My name is Steve Marks. Nice to meet you. Can I ask you a non-House of Thousand Corpses related, non-horror thing?
Does it have anything to do with taxes?
It does not.
Okay.
All right. That's a yes then. Okay. So, two-part question. What was your favorite movie to do, and why was it Galaxy of Terror?
Well, it's always fun watching a girl get raped by a maggot. Galaxy of Terror was amazing, man. I had a lot of fun with that. Okay? And the thing is, Roger Corman and I have this great relationship. He sends me a script and a contract. If I like the script, I sign the contract, send it back to him. He sent me the script for Galaxy of Terror, and I called him the next day, and I said, yeah, I'd like to do this film on one condition. He goes, you know you're not making any more money. I said, yeah, I know that, okay. He said, what's the commission? And I said, well, I want to do it mute. Why would you want to do it mute? And I said, have you read that shit? He said, okay, you can do it mute.
All right, thank you.
Hey, my name's James, and I was just wondering, I love both the movies, and obviously, but did you guys ever sit around and say, hey man, that from the first one, there was just so much character, we could have gone back the other way. I know prequels are kind of sucking sometimes, but did you guys ever talk about, man, there's a lot there, history that we could have gone with?
No, none of us wanted to entertain the idea of doing Devil's Rejects 9. Okay? It's like, you know, we got other shit to do. Let's just kill everybody and forget about it.
Early on, before there's all this stuff, bodies everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
Right on. Hey, thank you.
Hi, Sid. My name's Rocco. I was just wondering, I know you've done like plenty of roles, and where would you rank Captain Spaulding? Like, was he one of the best, or?
I have to tip my hat to Captain Spaulding because it just regenerated my career, okay?
Oh.
But there's a lot of other things that I've done that that I really liked and appreciated and had good experiences with. And I don't like to say, you know, oh, this is the best thing. It's like, well, this is my best friend. So you mean all your other friends are assholes, or what? I don't have a best, okay, but certainly, you know, these two films rank very high with me. Yeah.
Also, was the chicken any good?
I hated that fucking chicken.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Sid, I'm Caitlin. I was wondering about like the whole family. It's crazy and like murderous and psychotic, but yet there seems to be such like a strong family unit. Like, what's up with that?
Hey, the family that kills together, you know?
All right.
You weren't expecting that.
What's going on, man? Jay, nice to meet you.
Hey, Jay.
Question, yeah, so I'm wondering if there's any influences that you use in developing the character of Captain Spaulding, maybe from other actors or movies, or...
Okay. Now I'm going to get into another side of what I do, because I'm also a certified hypnotherapist. And within each and every person is every personality type. And what I had to do was go inside and find the Captain Spaulding who was living inside me and bring him out. I had to put him away at the end of the day, or bad shit could happen. That's the way that I develop every character that I play. I just find that person that's inside me and bring him out.
Right on. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name's Taylor. Just random question. Which movie that you didn't star in would you have to say is your favorite?
God damn, it gets tough. A film that I did with Omar Sharif called Che, and it was the story of Che Guevara after his Cuban affair, when he started falling to pieces. That was an amazing experience, yeah.
Also, does the chicken come with fries?
The chicken comes with grease. I hope nobody here works for KFC, but it was terrible shit.
How's it going, Sid? My name's Gary.
Hi.
What do you think makes horror the most effective? Is it practical effects? Do you think it's the imagery? Maybe how gruesome it can be?
It's commitment, okay? If you commit yourself to the character that you're playing, all the actors, directors, everybody, then it's going to be effective. It's just the way it is. When I was going to school, let me put this down. When I was going to school, I had the greatest textbook in the world. The thing that was so great about it was you never had to open it, because the title said everything. Acting is believing. If I believe it, you'll believe it. That's the way it goes.
Hi, Sid. I'm Alex. How are you?
All right.
That's good. Okay, so after watching House of 1,000 Corpses, everybody in this room should at least be familiar with some of your work, right?
Hopefully. Spinning my wheels.
So the question that I have for you is, we know at least some of what you've done in your adult life, but when you were a little kid, when you were growing up, what did you want to be? What was your dream job? Your aspirations?
I can remember when I was a little kid, my parents and I were listening to the Academy Awards, and we say listening to because there was no television, okay? And I actually, my parents reminded me years later that I, during a commercial break, made an acceptance speech. I actually started because I was growing so fast. By the time I was 9 years old, I was as tall as my father, and clumsier than how I could trip over a dime. Okay, so they decided that I needed to take dance lessons. So I went to dance lessons, and I loved it. I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. By the time I was 7, I was getting paid to dance. And that went from there to music, and from music to acting, and the rest is history.
Hey Sid, my name is Sean.
Hey.
First of all, I just want to say you absolutely rule. When I first saw House of 1,000 Corpses when I was really young, the whole movie kind of blew my mind, but your character took the cake. So I just want to personally thank you for such an amazing role you played in both House of 1,000 Corpses and The Devil's Rejects.
Thank you.
I would say my question is, what are some of the best or the worst memories you had on set of either House of 1,000 Corpses or The Devil's Rejects?
House of 1,000 Corpses, let me give you a clue. We shot that out in the desert, okay? Let me see my scenes. So when you're wearing a satin clown suit in the desert, in the middle of the night, your nipples will get hard.
I can only imagine.
And then the exact opposite happened with Devil's Rejects. And I have an appreciation for women who wax because with all the blood and everything, every time I took my shirt off, hair came with it. I used to be a hairy son of a bitch. I'm not anymore. It all got pulled out.
Thank you.
Okay, my pleasure.
Hi. What's your favorite line in House of Thousand Corpses?
In House of a Thousand Corpses? Jesus, what is my favorite line? Why are you asking so many jackassy questions?
Hi, my name's Felix. Got 2 questions. How many takes did the Tutti Frutti scene take? And does Pam Grier feel and smell as good as she looks?
What was the first question?
That one doesn't matter.
No, really, what was the first question?
How many takes in Devil Rejects did the Tutti Frutti scene take?
Bang. Okay, because when Rob was writing the thing, he just didn't like the way that scene was working, so he got us all in the office, and we started talking about it, blah, blah, blah. And he said, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know, let's just do this son of a bitch, and whatever comes out, maybe it'll work. So we, start fooling around with it, and Mosley says, there ain't no goddamn ice cream in your future. And I said, well, I think I'm gonna get me some Tutti fucking Frutti. We got on the set, we shot it, boom, done. Now the second part of the question, you're talking about Pam Grier?
Oh yeah.
That's she's like my little sister, okay? We're like this. No, we had one another's back the whole time we were working in the Philippines and crazy shit that we were doing here. Yeah, she is sweet. And that's all you're gonna get. Just as a side to that, okay, all the little kids just close your ears, all right? La 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 la, okay. Pam was doing a panel in Denver at a Comic-Con, and somebody asked, it was time for the Q&A, and somebody said, you and Sid have done a lot of films together, because we've done 6 films together. You and Sid have done a lot of films together, and she never even let the guy finish. She just said, no, we did not fuck. So we'll go with that.
All right, is there any more questions out there?
What's on your iPod? What do you listen to?
I'm a blues guy. I'm old school, man. I take your ass to church.
Did you get to keep the tiny hat?
The tiny hat? Actually, somebody remade the whole costume for me. Yeah, so I have it at home.
How fun was it making the DVD beginning where you walk out?
Good question.
That's one of my favorite things. It's not even
Okay, I got the script for that a little after midnight, the night before we were supposed to start shooting it, okay? So the next morning I went in to Rob and I said, Rob, what the hell are you doing? I didn't get this until after midnight. How am I supposed to memorize all this shit? It's like 7 minutes long. And he goes, well, you know where it has to go? I mean, you know all the high points and everything? I said, yeah, but it's just, all the dialogue. He said, well, here. And he gave me a jelly donut and a porno magazine and said, go. So for 7 minutes, I just went. But some of that stuff came back to bite me in the ass, too. Because there was a line in there that when I'm looking at the porno magazine, I'd love to have you bite me. I'd love to bite you in the ass and take lockjaw and have you drag me to death. And we were at a convention, and the guy said, this girlfriend of mine can't come tonight. do that line about biting her in the ass? He had her on the phone. I said, yeah, sure. So I did the line. And a couple of hours later, this woman comes up to the table and she said, well, I'm here. And I said, well, so am I. She said, well, you going to do it? I said, do what? She said, bite me in the ass. I said, no. Okay. She said, well, will you sign it? And I said, well, sure. I've signed more butts and boobs than anything. And so she dropped trowel right there, and I signed it, and she was wearing a thong, and she said, will you sign my thong? And I said, got a couple of eyes to dot. You going to be okay with that? I laugh.
All right, we have a question right here.
Yeah, my question is, how many makeup tests did you and Rob go through before you found the right Captain Spaulding face?
1. That was it.
And who ruined the most takes on set?
Oh, no, I'm not giving that. No, now you're getting me in trouble. But the one thing I will say about the makeup is, with all of that shit in my teeth, okay, it used to take me 45 minutes every night to scrub that stuff out. It's terrible.
Hi, I'm Leah. At the end of the day, how do you really decompress from a role like Captain Spaulding?
You just take a deep breath after you get out of the costume and everything and just relax.
Easy enough.
Yeah, easy enough.
Sid, I wanted to ask you real quick, if you could tell, I don't think anyone has brought this up yet, but the scene from The Devil's Rejects with you and PJ Souls. Could you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, sure. First of all, she had never been involved in any stunts or anything like that at all. So when I gave her the left cross, she would move her head the other way. No, see, if I hit you this way, your head's supposed to move that way. Okay, you get it? All right. So she finally got there, but she was great to work with, and I guess I kind of took her by surprise with some of my stuff, you know, like, do I stutter, bitch?
And I wonder whatever happened to that little kid. Did you traumatize him for life or what?
I made that little fucker cry. Nobody held a gun to his head. He wanted to be in that movie.
Anybody else out there got a question? Yeah.
What is it like working with Rob Zombie?
Great. He's relaxed. He's got his shit together, and you know he works the way directors should work. Jack Hill works this way. Quentin Tarantino works this way. He makes his vision clear to you, and then gets out of the way and lets you do your job. That's all I got for you.
Awesome. And Mike has the microphone for a second.
I just wanted to know who picked out all the graphic T-shirts in the movie, because they were all great. I know.
Well, I'm sorry, what was
The
that?
graphic T-shirts, like with all of the imagery, or like, I wanted to talk to an asshole, I would fart, or whatever.
Rob picked the graphic, and I picked the line that went on the back.
Well, the other guy had the like burn the flag, and the guy pushing the thing had the love. Like I just thought they were all great T-shirts.
Yeah, well, that was like one day in the wardrobe department, going through stuff and putting things together. It just, you know, it just comes together easy when you're crazy.
Thank you.
Let's see, anyone else?
Yeah. Out of everybody that was on set, was there anybody that you would rather go grab a beer with, or go smoke a butt, or hang out with?
I'd hang with any of them. Okay.
Was there?
Yeah, we were like a family. That whole group. You know, the protagonist and the antagonist and all the rest of it. It was the crew and all. We just hung together. I'd go out and drink with any of them.
Did you guys have some sort of like a rap party when everything was over, and was all the cast sad
knowing that it would be the end of the two movies?
No.
No?
Nobody was sad. Okay, we had one hell of a party. Okay, but nobody was sad that it was over because you just move on and do something else.
Right on.
Anyone else?
How do you feel about the new horror movies that they come out with? Like, do you have like any take on them?
Well, I mean, some of them are good and some of them are crap. All right, it's like, why keep remaking bad movies? It's like, stupid. That's why we never wanted to make House of a Thousand Corpses 2 or any of the rest of that stuff, because they're all just not as good as the original, or sometimes the original is crap, and then they make something that's even worse, I did a film for Roger Corman called Wizards of the Lost Kingdom Part 2. There was no Part 1. This is what kind of a marketing genius this guy is. He figured that if Part 2 did well at the box office, then we could make Part 1 cheaper and release it by popular demand. That's why he's a multi-millionaire and I'm,
Do you think House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects does not add up to 31?
I don't want to start playing critic here, okay? No, I'm not going to go there.
Okay.
No.
Are you going to get to visit Rob and Sherry while you're in Connecticut?
I texted Rob today and he wanted to be here tonight. Yeah, but he and Sherry wanted to be here tonight, but he's recording a new album and they're running late, and so he couldn't make it. That was going to be my surprise for you. No.
We got a question back here. Hi. I wanted to know, on the DVD of House of a Thousand Corpses, you have a thing where you, Sherry, and Bill are talking, and you tell a joke, and it's Tiny Fucked a Stump.
Yep.
Can you tell us about that?
Yes, we can. We were just bullshitting and, talking, and I called Tiny a mushmouth motherfucker or something. And Bill said, well, at least his stump broke. And Sherry, in all innocence and honesty, looked at me and said, what's stump broke? And I said, well, before you get your first piece of ass, you got to practice on something, and he just couldn't give up the stump. And that's how things get created. Okay?
Hi, I actually got two questions. One is, why did you choose acting?
Why not? Because it just felt right. I just feel, it makes me happy, okay, and I have fun. And when you have fun doing your job, it just makes things go easier and you get better at it as time goes on. And I just have fun with what I do.
Also, what's your take on the remake, on how they're remaking the classic movie It?
See, I don't even give a shit about it. Because I'll kick his punk ass in a minute. I don't know. I have to see the film before I can, pass any kind of stupid judgment on it. And who the hell am I to judge somebody else's work? Unless it's real crap.
I know in your earlier career you did a lot of plays. What would you say would be your favorite theatrical production you were a part of?
Wow. Once again, I don't have any favorites, okay? But one that was really interesting was a thing called End as a Man. And it was basically based around VMI, the Virginia Military Institute, and the harassment and all the crap that goes on there. And it was really kind of wild because we did it at the Pasadena Playhouse, and we did it in the round. And the first row was 6 feet above the stage. So you were looking down basically into this pit, these actors just totally fucking with one another. And that was really a wild experience.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I'm gonna go to sleep here.
Wake up. I just had a question. Are there any types of roles or any roles that you have no interest as an actor to portray?
Anyone that are written badly. I'll do anything, okay? I have very few I don'ts, okay? I like to stretch the envelope and come in and out of different genres and just show to myself that I've still, got the juice to do something. So, I take on everything. Like I said, playing a homicide detective who, most of my career I've been running away from the cops. So.
All right, guys, we have time for about one more question. We're going to wrap it up.
Right here, she's got one right there.
Was there any role that you ever dreamt of playing or anything you'd really want to play in the future?
I would like to put the bad guy role to bed by playing Rasputin. That was a bad dude.
All right, Sid, so we're going to wrap it up. I have one final question for you. As an actor, can you talk a bit about how it feels to be embraced by horror fans and what it means to you to have so much love and support from all the horror fans out here?
It means everything in the world to me, okay? I don't just work for money, okay? I work to have some kind of impact on your life. And if I have, and if it's been good, I feel good about it. Because at the end of the day, I know in my head and in my heart that you have supported me. You keep a roof over my head, clothes on my back, food in my stomach, and I have nothing but love for you, really.
Guys, so I just wanted to remind everyone that Sid's going to be at Connecticut HorrorFest tomorrow. It's right basically diagonal across from here. Be there from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., meeting you guys, signing autographs, and telling cool stories.
And your mission, your task for the evening is go home and call 200 of your closest friends and tell them to get their ass over there.
Guys, I want everyone that loves horror that's in here tonight to stand up and give Sid Haig the round of applause that he deserves.